Okay. So this is the point I want to make to people. Every single thing that DarkSydePhil for years that he had been telling his audience that he wasn't about. He wasn't about drama anymore.
So it's just crazy. Like, what are you talking about? On what planet? You did several streams on me saying I'm an awful person, right? I mean, wow, there must be a vacuous emptiness in your brain to think that I would do anything with you moving forward. But that's the point I'm making. People are still constantly trying to pull me into their vortex of bullshit. Okay, and I am just ignoring it all. I'm not gonna bite on any of this nonsense. I'm just gonna sit here in my lane making content for you guys and having absolutely nothing to do with any of it. I want nothing to do with these people. I'm just, it doesn't matter who it is. I don't care if it's Wings or Boogie or Keemstar, Review Tech USA. I don't have nothing to do with any of these people. But here's the deal of what's going on right now. As you know, there's a documentary on Review Tech USA that is going to go live. I want to react to the Review Tech USA documentary. That's going to be a big thing. It's an hour long, but you know me, when I react to these things, I'm just, it doesn't matter who it is. I don't care if it's Wings or Boogie or Keemstar, Review Tech USA.
He wasn't about drama anymore. He wasn't about begging anymore. He was a family man. He wasn't about doing clout. He didn't do politics. Every single thing that Phil sold himself on. During the course of the Kino Casino arc, he sold his soul to me. He absolutely sold out every single principle that he ever claimed to stand for, starting with drama and then moving into politics. He did the political grift, trying to chase my audience and chase my donors, and he fucking failed.
Okay, guys, that's it. I'm out of here. I already stayed late to try to get extra stuff done, but I'm out of time. So I want to say thanks. It was a great show. I had a good time. I hope that you guys enjoy it. And that's it. I told you, like, nothing. Guys, it's been a dead night. Most of the support came in within the first, like, half hour. So that's what I mean. Like, with the future of this show, at first people seemed really excited for it, but now they're not. So I don't know what to say. 2 weeks in a row. Last week, we also almost didn't make the goal during this show. It was like a last-minute Hail Mary situation. Wasn't it like DarkSydePimp came in here and gave a bunch of subs? Well, DarkSydePimp's not here tonight. He had said earlier today he probably couldn't make it tonight. So, all right, guys, that's it. So tomorrow we start over.
And bit by bit by bit, we took DarkSydePhil's soul away.
Yeah, because he was making money from you. As long as he was making money, he was okay with anything you said.
The only thing he cares about is money. And he gave it all up. And he doesn't have a leg to stand on. All of the things he talks about, how he's not toxic, he is 100% toxic.
Can I please go in the waiting room?
Sure, where is the waiting room?
You click on that.
Just walked in the door. I'm trying to figure out what's going on.
You click on it, just so you know.
You click on it. Good, now I'm away from that annoying bitch of a kid who I would have slapped in real life if they talked to me like that. I would have fucking pimp slapped that shit out of that.
Thing is, this guy wants to be a bully. This guy wants to be a drama streamer. He looks at me and he goes, oh, there's a guy who can fight my battles for me. The consequences are coming now, Phil. The consequences are on their way, Phil. Everything that you've sowed for the last 6 months, 7 months, 8 months, however long it's been, all of the old viewers that you alienated by trying to pander to my audience, which you could never have, Phil, our audience is going to leave.
They're all going to leave him.
Have already. The thing is, Phil takes this stuff way too seriously. Way too seriously. He takes himself way too seriously. He has the thinnest skin of anybody I've ever worked with. Phil, everybody hates you anyway. Nobody likes you. There's a handful of special needs people.
Morons. Yeah, he's got a few morons that like him.
A lot of them are legitimately on like disability. A lot of them are legitimately in wheelchairs. People who would be entertained by Blue's Clues. It's just full on slop. And it's slop that he delivers every single day.
Like he's not even trying to make something good or entertaining.
No.
And just so you're aware, I sent him an invitation to this show, and then I said, or invite us on Smart Guys, or at least PPP.
Listen,
say this shit to your face.
We know right well he never will, because he's a pussy. He doesn't want confrontation. The lies that he tells are like the lies of a child. Any adult that's worth their salt,
see right through it,
that has any sort of critical thinking skills, knows that he's lying and can effortlessly dismantle his lies in real time. And unless he's just talking to himself, it becomes readily apparent that he's just a fucking clown. Every single time he exits that hug box that he lives in 24/7, 365, it's the hug box. It's a fantasy land where it's basically like North Korea, where any sort of dissent is banned. But guess what, Phil? Every single thing that you have done that has happened to you has been the consequence of your own actions. Where you are at now is a direct result of what you have done in the past, what you are currently doing, and what you are going to do in the future. It's never his fault. It's always somebody else's fault. If it wasn't for the dastardly, dirty trolls, he would be a millionaire. He would be so successful. He's so entitled. He thinks that the whole world owes him a living. And what's crazy is, it's the weird Skinner box that he's plugged himself into has validated that worldview. That worldview has never been challenged because people literally do hand him a living on a silver platter. But you know, Phil, one day, it might be soon, it might be a long ways away, but one day there won't be any more whales, because your show will be so boring, so toxic, so lame, hosted by a 50, 60-year-old man pretending to be a pro geek.
I agree with you.
Phil is a liar. He lies all the time. All the time. And the lies never, ever, ever, ever end. And it just starts to get exhausting. He views anybody who is his friend as a means to an end. It's not somebody that he genuinely cares about. To him, people are tools. John Rambo was a tool. Howard was a tool to him.
You use everybody, yeah.
I was a tool to him as well. He didn't genuinely care about me or anything.
Yeah, you got to socialize as a human.
He has no family out there. He's stranded on the West Coast. He's told me he has no friends. He's been out there for almost a decade.
Well, no wonder he has no friends. Look what you tried to be a friend to him, and look what he did. Look what he did. He took and took and took.
Ultimately, the guy is doing 8 hours of streaming 6 days a week. Never goes out with his wife, never does anything fun. He's a total shut-in, total hermit, no friends, and it's just no way to live. And he lives in fear. He lives in fear of the world. And
he's got all those cameras around his house. That's paranoid, delusional. The police called him a 220. Like he's a mental case.
Well, he is a mental case, And now, generally, he's kind of almost a harmless mental case. And this is why it's I kind of wanted to help the guy, because I feel generally he's not the most evil, malignant scumbag on earth, at least at first impression. There's no real way to explain why Phil is such a deplorable and detestable person. You must actually experience it firsthand. And I experienced it firsthand. When you watch his show every day and you keep up with the vortex and the people that are in it and the way that he interacts with it, only truly then can you actually know why he's such a deplorable piece of shit that deserves to die. Only then can you really know. Because why do people want this guy to die? I don't get it. Well, in the last couple weeks, it finally really was driven home to me as to why motherfuckers hate this guy. Because he just never, ever, ever will change his ways. He's ungrateful for everything he gets. He's negative. He's pessimistic. He's draining. He's soulless. He doesn't care. All he cares about is getting a paycheck and protecting his fragile, narcissistic ego. And that's it.
Yeah.
You know, he's concerned that his wife is going to die and she's becoming more religious. And so Phil feels like he needs to be more religious and so he can't be a heel. And I just feel like
come on.
I feel like that's nonsense because he actually is just an evil, horrible piece of shit all the time anyway. And he's not religious whatsoever.
You should embrace
and I
the
just
heel.
feel like it's a total excuse because he doesn't want to actually have to deal with people dunking on him. And so he hides away from controversy and conflict. And I don't know, man. I just don't have any respect for Phil. I just don't. The only thing that I have any respect for him for is that he does show up 6 days a week, 10 hours a day.
He's got a good begging
ethic. Fucking tin cup. Like that's what he does. And I've just been trying to help this motherfucker. He lays these pity parties on me. He lays all of these secrets on me. And then it's like, well, how can you, snake this guy? How can you turn on this guy when he has all of these problems in his life?
He seems very manipulative. Like he's trying to manipulate you into not being real with him.
Yeah, it's full on manipulation. It's pignosis to try and stop me from bursting his echo chamber and making him confront like the cognitive dissonance in his life. And so it's just this sad coping mechanism where he tells me stuff. I don't know if it's true or if it's not. Because he lies so often, even when he swears up and down. And I remember him swearing to me up and down that TJ Gamebox, who does the calculations, no. His calculations are wrong because at my high whale level, they offer me these special deals and these special points. So it's not actually the $1,500 this week he said it was. It was only like $200. And then I go to Gamebox and I say, is this the case? And he explains to me in great detail with receipts, no, he lied. And he swore up and down to me, no, I'm really... I said, really, Phil? You're telling me...
Yeah.
Well, and that's the thing. Nick Jammies is saying, I wonder if he'll continue talking like PPP all the time and saying felt it. It made me cringe, guys. This guy took on all of my mannerisms, all of my catchphrases, and he bastardized all of it. He was skinny.
I may have taken on a few, and I've said felt it a few times, but I learned the lingo.
I take mannerisms from all sorts of people, and I amalgamate them together. But this was genuinely embarrassing from Phil.
Because he did it bad. He didn't even do it well.
Because it's the saying, bad artists copy, good artists steal. And they make it their own. Phil only knew how to copy me. It was like a cargo cult. He didn't actually understand why the behavior was effective. He only knew how to mimic said behavior to get mana from the gods, and it never worked.
It's just amazing to me that you guys gave him such an opportunity. He was dying a slow death before you quickened him for another era.
Let me just tell you the truth, man. It was never really an opportunity because I knew that every dollar he would ever make would just be spent on WWE Champions, Gin, and DoorDash. So for those of you who are upset at me for enriching Phil, just realize that all of it went to worthless black holes and didn't go to anything that genuinely improved his life. And now his tax bill coming in next month is going to be a lot higher. You're welcome. Okay.
Yeah, people are taking bets about how long it's going to be before he starts begging for money to pay his taxes.
Oh,
right?
Soon. Very, very soon.
Yeah, this is something else. So I guess if he crawls back and apologizes, then you'll...
If he apologizes, I'll bring him back. I'll be really nice to him. I'll hold him by the hand and rebuild his career because he knows he can't do it himself. He's much like the directionless losers that sign up for Lolcow Live, but at least they have the sense to know that it was over for them and that they need to listen to Daddy Keemstar's wisdom. Now, maybe Phil will listen to Daddy Keemstar and he'll go and join Lolcow Live and put on the clown makeup and dance and eat the bugs and be humiliated.
Eat the cat food, do the humiliation rituals.
Rituals, and that's really what he deserves for his retirement plan, for his golden years, is to be Keemstar's slave, and I hope that he does it. But the one thing to note about that, the $50,000, Phil, I'm afraid is off the table. And I don't.
Yeah, they're going to give him 10 or something. Yeah, they're going to lowball him.
No, he won't get any signing bonus now. And not only will he get no signing bonus, he'll get no equity because Boogie and Wings built that shit. Boogie and Wings have gone through the ringer.
They're not giving up their equity in that.
Yeah, they've earned their money. Keemstar is certainly not going to give it. What Phil will get is a flat rate to be a circus clown.
Yeah, give him $100 or something.
$100 a show, $150, whatever your goal is, to be Keem's dancing monkey because you didn't believe in the project, you didn't invest in the project, you're a latecomer to the project, and fuck you. I offered you in at the ground floor of the Kino universe with Steve, with Andy, with me, with others. Probably nobody else will join, but still, we could have been a 4-horseman team.
Oh, I think that would have been fun, and we would have been like, I think we would have been fair with him and busted his balls, but still been like his friend while busting his balls. You know,
and I think it would have led to him having a better life, but he believes his way is the highway. He knows best. Well, it's got him to where he's at so far, which isn't really a great place to be.
No, it's not.
And I have a feeling it will progressively get worse and worse and worse over time as he slowly circles the drain on his never-ending, always sinking ship that is DarkSydePhil.
All right, that being said, there is all the essential context that you need to get the gist of the latest DarkSydePhil saga. And while yeah, I could have included more moments from their co-podcast, Smart Guys, that shit was honestly boring as hell, and you should be ashamed for even suggesting I sit through that. Years ago, I didn't really even understand the attraction to DSP, you know, what was so funny or interesting about him, but this saga alone has seriously opened my eyes to how absurd some of the drama can get. I mean, seriously, we got PPP alleging that Phil was going on 4 a.m. gin benders, where he would complain about having no friends and zero social life. Not to mention the whole fake religious awakening he supposedly had, which he's now blaming for his return to positive content. And it's just like the same thing as when somebody says something really retarded, but then they try and play it off as a joke when you call them out. Phil continually dips his toes into controversy, drama, politics, and then wonders why he has no audience left that wants him for just his Let's Plays. Anyways, I hope you guys enjoyed this context compilation commentary video. I don't know, it's a different style for me, I'm not sure what to call it yet, but make sure to like and subscribe if you'd be so kind, and other than that, have a great rest of your day.